morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's edition of Wordchew. In the past weeks, we've been talking about favor, and today we are still going to continue about favor. The title for today's Wordchew is Favored by Divine Positioning. The position in life goes a long way to determine where you are going and where you will arrive. And there are people that are positions in the life of every individual. If you know who are the people positioned for you, they can be there to help you and lift you in life. God has positioned every one of us in families, in homes, such that you have a father to mentor you, to guide you, to pay your bills until you get to a certain age where you can say, okay, I'm on my own. You are positioned in a family. Position the mother around you. Position some brothers around you. Position friends around you. Position some teachers around you to teach you. You are a product of your position, your location. And some of the places God positions us can help influence what you become or how much favor you attain in life. Because the people that are positioned around you can influence you positively or influence you negatively. And the life you decide to live might be a lot of percentage influenced by people around you. I want to take my text from the book of Psalm 105. You can read from verse 13 to 24, but I'm going to be jumping some verses because of my time. Verse 13 says, when they went from one nation to another, from one kingdom to another people. 16 says, moreover, he called for a famine upon the land. He brake the old staff of bread. He set a man before them, even Joseph, who was sold for his servants. Verse 19, until the time that his word came, the word of the Lord tried him. I go to verse 22, to bind his princes at his pleasure and teach his senators wisdom. Israel also came into Egypt, and Jacob sojourned in the land of Ham, and increased his people greatly and made them stronger than their enemies. If you read the whole chapter, you see how God sent Joseph ahead of Israel into the land of Egypt. Joseph thought he was being punished. Of course, he was punished by family members who did not like him, and they thought they were doing it for evil, but God turned it around. There are so many things people around you might be doing for evil, but because of the favor of God, God will turn them around for your good in the mighty name of Jesus. God sent men, and positioned people in the life of Joseph. First, he positioned him in a loving family. His father loved him, made him a cloth of many colors. Next, he positioned him among brothers and sisters that did not like him. They hated him and sold him into Egypt. That was a position he was occupying. He also positioned him as number 11 among 12 brothers. And that was another position. That one has its own effect on his life. The love of the father also influenced what he became. But if you look at it, they sold him to Egypt and he was in prison. He was in the house of Potiphar. From there, he migrated, and Potiphar's wife set him up. He was positioned wrongly. Potiphar loved him. The wife loved him. But that was a lustful kind of love that was set up and ended in prison. But from prison again, the king had a dream, and they needed somebody to interpret the dream. And Joseph was handy to do that for the king. And when he did that for the king promoted him. Within a space of an hour, he became prime minister in the land of Egypt. But he went through all this. And when he became prime minister in Egypt, and there was famine in the whole world, and Israel, Jacob, and all his sons came to Egypt to buy grains. And from there, they have to meet Joseph, who was now the prime minister in the land of Egypt. They have to bow down for him. They have to worship him. And all the stories that took place, he was able to provide food for his family who were in the land of Canaan. And eventually, all of them migrated from the land of Canaan into the land of Egypt and stayed in the land of Egypt for over 400 years before they returned back to the promised land. What am I talking about here today? God sent Joseph ahead of the people of Israel to preserve that generation. There are people God is going to send your way. There are people God has sent our way ahead of us so that they can position us and preserve us. There are elder brothers that God gave you so that they can make it so that you will not have to struggle. Some of us who are firstborn knew how we have to go through things so that the other members of the family will not have to suffer. And because God helped us, other ones will not suffer. Some of you are from a well-to-do family, and so that your children will not suffer. Some of the things you endure growing up, you were sent for a purpose, whether for your children, for your generation. There are people that were sent on an assignment ahead so that those coming behind can benefit from your positioning in life. There are people who are directors. There are people who are ministers. There are people who are permanent secretaries. There are people who are political appointees. They are not just there because of themselves. God positioned them so that they can preserve some generation. They can wipe out generational tears from families. And if they fail to do that, they will have failed in their assignment that God has given unto them. Many of us arrive too early at our destination. Why? Because we do not wait for God's time. There are some delays a man goes through in life, and you think that, oh, I'm repeating my WAHEC, I'm repeating this, and my promotion is being delayed. God might be delaying that so that he can position somebody for you in the future. If the famine had come too early before Joseph was in Egypt, then how will Israel have survived? Don't arrive too early in your destination. Some of us, the delay you are experiencing in life is so that your life partner can be positioned where you will meet him. If you meet your life partner now when he's still in secondary school, it might not look like it, but God is trying to position him so that when your time comes, everything will add up. So God positioned Joseph so that Israel can be preserved, that generation can be preserved, so that they can bring up fruits that will return back into the land of Canaan. He positioned Joseph so that Israel can also come and learn technology from Egypt, how to build the pyramid, how to do serious construction work. They learned that, and by the time they got back to their land, they had imbibed those technology. They were migrants, just herdsmen moving from one place to the other. But when they got to Egypt, they learned how to build a nation. They learned how to settle down. They learned technology. They learn so many things. So God definitely positioned people in your life. It is for you to discover who has been positioned in your life and meet those people so that they can favor you. God favors people by positioning people in their lives. That man that is going to help you is somewhere, positioned somewhere. But if you refuse to discover that person, you might be struggling and you think that God has abandoned you. Jesus needed John the Baptist to be his forerunner. John the Baptist was about 6 months older than Jesus, but he has to go and prepare the way. That was why his ministry, he said, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make his path straight. Let every crooked way be smoothened, every valley must be filled, and every mountain must be brought low. Why? Because his ministry is a forerunner, is somebody that was positioned for Jesus. So when Jesus came with a new style, different from that of the Sanctuary and the temple worship, it was not difficult for people to accept him because John was already doing the groundwork for him. And we need to understand that God will definitely send people ahead of you, position them in your life. They might be beside you, they might be ahead of you, they might be behind you, so that they can help you attain the favor and the blessings that he has for you in every season. May God send men along your path. May you not be lonely in life. May he give you men that will be there to lift you even in your time of need. May he give you men that will stand as a pillar of support for you and make you great. May he show you favor by placing great men in your January, February, March, April, divine destiny helper, be able to lift you up. Thank you for being part of today's message. Continue 5:30 tomorrow morning, same time. God bless you.